Preparing these talks, we were warned to avoid controversy. Now, I'm not here to create controversy, but I am here to talk about it, because it's not something as a society that we can avoid. And yes, it is unpleasant. I'm sure we've all had feeling maybe a hostile conversation on Facebook where you're just frustration, like, oh, it's like talking to a brick wall. Am I right? Now, one especially hot-button issue in Saskatchewan is the nuclear industry. In the mines in Saskatchewan's north, they produce 20% of the world's global uranium supply. So in these past several months, I've been traveling around Saskatchewan interviewing people who are either involved in or affected by this industry. And these are people with all backgrounds and opinions on the matter. And I asked them about past conversations they have had about this topic. Now, when they've talked about who is listening and not listening in these conversations, it became clear that what listening even means changed from person to person and even from one situation to another. This is the question I address in my thesis. With these controversial conversations, how do people understand the concept, process, and outcomes of listening? Now, I have hundreds of pages of interview text, and what I'm doing right now is going through these line by line to pull out all the bits that can help us understand the many meanings of listening. Returning to this wall idea, like talking to a brick wall is another way of saying that someone's not listening to us. And to illustrate some of what I've found, here are 4 ways that a brick wall cannot and will not listen. 1, a brick wall won't ask for your opinion. Sometimes listening was seen as genuine interest. 2, a brick wall won't reply. Sometimes listening was seen as giving a verbal response of acknowledgement. 3, a brick wall won't change its behavior. It'll keep being what it was being and keep doing what it was doing before. Sometimes listening didn't count unless someone was willing to change their actions and not just their words. And finally, you can't convince a brick wall. Sometimes, someone who saw listening as the same as attitude change. So unless someone changed their opinion and agreed by the end of things, they weren't really listening to them. Now, one of the reasons all of this is so important is because when we don't feel listened to, we feel disrespected. Hostile and draining environments in public meetings affect our quality of life and the people who are even willing to participate in these conversations. So by understanding how and when people feel listened to, we can build systems of listening in society and break down these walls.